Good Saturday afternoon, fellow orchid lovers. I'm in the process of repotting giant Phal. You've heard about him many times. So what I've done here is, okay, here's the crown. There's a new leaf emerging. But I want to show you. See this broken leaf? Okay, that's a faux pas. This is a spot, sunspot, a little too much light one time. There's another part of a leaf. I don't know what that damage came from. Okay, on the other side here, just 1,000 roots, and there's another broken leaf because Big Phal's just gotten a little too big for his britches, or should I say for his pot. So let me show you what the root system looks like. Okay, here's a lot of root, not too many bad, but obviously it was pot bound. There's a few that need to be removed, some old ones. And this is the old sphagnum moss that I'm going to be working for the next 20 minutes or so, trying to get rid of it so I can put it in some new moss and give him a new lease on life. He's doing pretty good. As you can see, some of the root tips are nice and green. So he liked this pot, just got a little too big for it. So what I'm going to do now is this is the pot that Big Phal was in. Okay, now it looks like maybe a quart, I'm not sure. All right, and right beside it is the pot that I'm going to put Big Phal in. Now I like these clear pots because you can see what's going on with the roots. This pot came with probably a garden center, and it has several holes in the bottom, which was good. He got a lot of hydration and aeration. This pot did not have a hole in the bottom. It's a pot I think I got from a Chinese food store. So what I did was I put a hole in the bottom. Okay, so he can get, I can control the water. I'm sorry about the phone going on, camera going on kind of crazy. But my stand is just not cooperating. So in this pot, I put some fresh sphagnum moss, and I'm going to fill it with this distilled water. I don't know that you have to use distilled water. I don't always use distilled water, but it's going to soak overnight before I put the big Phal back in the pot. And here I have some generic brand sphagnum moss, if you can see it. Long fiber. Okay, it has a lot of fiber, so it gets kind of messy, but that's what Big Phal was in originally. He liked it, so we're going to work with it. All right, so I just want to tell you that I'm going to continue to gently remove some of this old sphagnum until I get down to some pretty nice roots, cutting away some of the old stuff, as you can see down in there, and see if Big Phal can keep going. I think a week or so ago, I cut off where that old spike was. But I see something happening over here. Can you see that little bump in there? I'm hoping that's another spike getting ready to go. So it just tells me that I needed to have cut that old spike a little closer to the plant. And once I did, something started to happen. Okay, so I'll be back in a little bit to continue and let you see what happened today. So I'm back. I went in and I cleaned up the roots a little bit, cutting away some of the old dead stuff. Now I'm not going to remove all this moss because if you look closely, there are some roots that are buried pretty deep in there, and looks like Papa Phal likes his surroundings pretty well, so I'm not going to tamper a lot with it. Just want to give him a new place to live, one that's more comfortable and not so cramped. So what I'm going to do now is I put the sphagnum moss in this glass bowl to soak overnight. Here's all the stuff that I removed. I removed quite a bit, basically from the bottom roots there. The top roots look pretty good, pretty healthy. Okay, all right, so I'm thinking in this case, it might be the new lease on life that it needed. So here's the sphagnum moss that's in soak, and I'm going to sit Big Phal overnight in this new pot and see what happens. Okay? I'll check back with you later. Oh, let me show you something while we're at it. Let's take a little walk over to the orchid house and let me show you what has happened. I talked a little bit to you about giant dendrobium. Well, look at her in all her glory, fully blooming, not completed yet, but she's got a lot more blooms to come. And I declare this giant dendrobium has to be about 3 feet tall from root to tip. All right, I'll keep you posted on her as well. Okay, be blessed.